Here is Immortal Moments for explanation. Friends, like videos and subscribes to our channel. Immortality Season 6 Episode 7 Explanation. So let's start our explanation. How is this such a wishful child? He is going to support Huatiandu, so I can't go with me. If this person is a giant, I will play him like a dead dog. Listening to the cold words of the wishfulness, there is also a question of temperament, although Fang Han has a well thought out, but he feels that it is not a taste, and he wants to beat this big elder. He knows that this person's status is no less than the elders of heavenly punishment. He is a powerful supporter of Huatian. If he does not remove this stumbling block, he is afraid that it will be very difficult to compete for the big position in the future. When this person is removed, Huatian will lose its most powerful supporters. Fang Han knows that he and Huatian will play against each other in the future. I am afraid that 80% of the opportunities will be equally divided. It is very difficult for him to defeat him and kill each other. If Huatiandu is defeated by himself and does not die one day, he will pose a great threat to himself. The monk, as long as he does not die, has an opportunity. To get rid of Huatiandu, you must first remove this person. But how easy is it to get rid of this person? Fang Han knows that although he is tyrannical at the moment, he can kill the masters of the Ghost Emperor, but the giants who are in the secret of the longevity will surely die. Unless it is self-cultivating Jin Dan, refining the 9 ghosts, it is possible to escape under the power of the long-lived secret master. It is only possible to escape. To win, that is to think about it, even if it is to escape, there is no certainty. After all, the longevity secrets and the mysterious secrets are too far apart, stepping out in one step, never ending. The tyrannical and quality of mana is unmatched. In the last time in the Taiyuan Shenfu, Fang Han saw the prostitution of the long-lived secret master. Under normal circumstances, the people of the mysterious secrets are impossible to overcome the masters of the longevity. Even holding a perfect ball is impossible. Unless it is a fairy. Of course, the people of the fairy tales can't be destroyed. Even the master of the longevity secret, unless it is the kind of person who is deep and extreme, after 5 heavy, it is difficult to destroy the fairy. The wind white feathers ruined the fabulous device, Emperor Mirror, and it was a bit of mana. In fact, the people of the mysterious secrets are hard to destroy, even the best. Instruments, spirits, treasures, Taoist, fairy. Each level is divided into 4 products, the next, the middle, the upper, the special. One layer is more powerful than one layer. Fang Han now has many magic weapons, such as the magic hand, the 6-eye seal, the Yangyu sword array, the giant flag array, the 18 ahats, the soul sword, the ghost snake sword. These are the best treasures, plus Huang Quan figure. The power is already close to the Zhongpin Dao. The king of Blood Knight is the underpinner. However, if they are united, they will only be able to find their teeth in the middle of the game. Even if there are 2 golden dragons in Fang Han's hands, they can blow themselves up, but it is impossible to blow up the wishfulness. Let the power of the golden Dan explosion fall through. The last time I bombed the Emperor, it was a trick. Moreover, Rui has cultivated into the longevity secret, and it has a kind of mental sensitivity to the dangers and blessings. Just when Fang Hanman's brain was calculated, when he tried to deal with this ancient giant, the elders of the sentence said, "If you are an elder, I will naturally enforce the law, and seek truth from facts. I will never let go of a disciple who has committed the rules. I will not persecute a disciple who has made significant contributions to the martial art. This time, I am not partial to the private sector. Before I go to the front of the squad, I have to say that I am an elder. I am an elder of the sentence, who is in charge of the sect and does not violate the rules. It seems that you will not be able to blame me. Hey, you are an elder who has mastered the criminal law. He is a self-imposed elder. I am the right to impeach you in front of the palm of your hand." Rui took a step forward and stroked the black hand in his hand. Even the 3, it's the undercover of the magic road. Fang Han's son is a little true disciple. Even Jin Dan has not cultivated it. What rights do he have to deal with the 3? If everyone follows him, then I'm not going to mess up the door? And today's move, he is a 3-person, wants to control the mountain river list contest of my feathering door. Heavenly punishment. Today, regardless of whether the three are under the magic road, Fang Han's actions are not advisable. I have to deal with the big crime of killing the same door. Must be whipped. Then shut into Xianxu, to smash the effect. Hey! 3 good seeds of the mysterious secrets, said that the waste will be abolished. 2-1 door is not so extravagant. I have only a few disciples in the magical world for a year. Who can afford this loss? Deal with true disciples, unless it is a judgment. Otherwise, the criminal law is closed to Xianji, and of course, the heavier is tied to the punishment platform, summoning all the true disciples, and beating with the dragon skin whip. The dragon skin whip is very powerful, and the whip is pumped down. The master of the magical mystery can't stand it, and the damage to the body is also great. Of course, what is more important is that the face is lost. Oh, Rui! You are nothing but because of the dispute between me and Huatian, and it is a threat to him to teach the big position. It is only a matter of martyrdom. This time, once in 1,000, I will eradicate the undercover and go out with the elders. In one fell swoop, he killed the master of magic. Fortunately, the elders of the heavens knew the passing of the matter. They also collected evidence. As for you have no right to dispose of me, I still have important things to report to the head. The party was cold and cold. I don't have the right to dispose of you? Wait for you to say it again. There is no need to tell you so much nonsense at this time. Rui suddenly moved. Fang Han suddenly felt that there was a strong force in the darkness from the direction of all directions. No matter where you run away, you will be imprisoned. Of course, if he fights to sacrifice his own deity, and then suddenly explodes Jindan, he will definitely be able to get out of it. But he knows that someone will definitely help him. So he didn't panic. If I am a child, I am the elder of the sentence, I am the person in charge of the penalty. The elders of the sentence also suddenly moved, palms and strokes, slap. The pressure around Fang Han's body disappeared without a trace. These 2 people started this time, and Fang Han's heart was secretly scared. Although there was no gorgeous sound, it was even more horrible because he did not know how the opponent's mana attacked, how to block it, let alone how to crack it. I don't think of the punishment of heaven, you are about to become an undead body. If the son of the sinister saw the plan of the elders, he broke his spell and couldn't help but blink. It seems that you got it from the hand of Fang Han. Forgetting the water, it has added a lot of strength for you. It is no wonder that you have protected him like this. Hey! Fang Han today destroyed the disciples of my 3 magical secrets of Yu Huamen. Such a great loss, I am an elder, I must take care of it. I can't afford to lose the feather door. If you want to be a child, isn't it a traitor who lost 3 mysterious secrets? It is a good thing for me to drop a few traitors. Fang Han suddenly moved in his heart. You, come over. Fang Han brother, what? The virtual moon came over. Hey! Fang Han's hand flashed a hint of green light, like a strange fruit, chestnut size. It is just one of the 5 god fruits that have just killed 5 gods and made them on the tree of the world. A palm was shot on the forehead of the moon, and the fruit suddenly infiltrated. This sacred fruit is like a gas, and there are many swirls inside. When I patted the forehead of the virtual moon, I immediately entered her brain and immediately combined with her spirit. Bang! Her body actually floated in the air, and the mana of the whole body swayed around, shocked and ejected. The illusory moon never imagined that Fang Han had such a shot, and the green globular fruit immediately entered his body, which turned all his spirits into mana. I even stepped into the magical mystery. Good effect. This magical fruit, actually so wonderful. It is between heaven and earth, the first treasure. Fang Han saw that the magical fruit really is effective, cannot help but laugh, although this magical fruit to kill the ***** level the Protoss can be born. God is equal to the master of heaven and earth. In other words, all the essence of life in a heavenly environment can elevate a person to the mysterious secret. But it is too strong. We must know that ordinary alchemy, practicing things like French relic, can only enhance mana and cannot improve the realm. The realm of this thing is the most difficult to upgrade. There is basically no drama on medicinal herbs. What? What kind of medicine is this? It can actually raise the realm and make people step into the mystery. I didn't read it wrong. So I stepped into the magical mystery? Have the mana? Nothing wrong, this is the mana. It is not the mana of the spiritual weapon, but the mana derived from her own. That Fang Han is really using a green remedy, turning the virtual moon into a mysterious secret, stepping into the sky. What kind of medicine is that? Even if it is yin and yang, it is impossible. 2 bad days. This is simply acting against the sky. The mystery of the mystery is to be realized by myself. The drug can only be used as a foundation. What is this cold medicine? Direct magical mystery, my God! Many disciples saw such a scene, and they screamed, and several elders almost smashed their eyes. Impossible, impossible, this is just a coincidence. Where is the medicinal herb that directly promotes people to the mysterious secret? However, Fang Han shouted 2 people to come up, one is the Night Rain, and one is also a female disciple of the Indigo Club. Fang Han took out 2 gods and took them directly on their foreheads. Hey! At the same time, they actually transformed all the spirits into real practical powers, invisible into tangible, and also entered the magical mystery. This is not a lucky one. It is the role of the asterisk of fruit. Ha ha ha, the god-passing fruit is the god fruit, and now I am developed, the Protoss. I will kill the Protoss in the future. Fang Han is simply full of enthusiasm. Ruyizi, I killed 3 wastes and at the same time created 3 masters of the magical mystery. 2 or 2? You really thought that I am manipulating the Shanhe list? I want to profit from it? Hey, I have the heavenly fairy, can break through obstacles, the master of the mysterious world. Fang Han shouted. This? How can there be such a magical drug in the world? Is it really an elixir? Impossible, immortality is not the same, even the master of the longevity secret cannot bear the power contained in it, let alone ordinary people. But the situation before us? Really worthy, the 3 female disciples, even if they took yin and yang one showdown, they had to cultivate for a year and consolidate their foundations before they hoped to enter the mysterious secret. Ruyizi's face is cloudy and uncertain. In the face of such a situation, he did not know what to say. It's not that there's nothing to say, because Fang Han's medicinal herbs that can directly promote people to the mysterious secrets have shocked him. As a long-lived mysterious giant, it is not impossible to promote people to the mysterious secrets. But it also has to take great risks. It is not that he takes risks, but the people who bear it. If the foundation is not enough, it will be extremely dangerous to forcibly transform the human spirit into mana. Ruyizi, what is the matter? We decided to go to the front of the church, do not hinder the mountain river list competition. The elders of the sentence to mouth, white rainbow flew out wrapped in Fang Han, then flashed through the cloud into the Yuhua temple among them. Ruyizi sneered and disappeared, and naturally disappeared in front of Feng Baiyu. In the depths of the feathered Tiangong, Fang Han really saw the winged white feather again. This piece of space is full of vitality everywhere. The white mist is lingering, and the white mist is still under the feet. I don't know how deep it is, and it is impossible to imagine. Fang Han is also strange, knowing that the depths of the Yuhua temple are emptiness of cutting everywhere. There are many places in the world that are bigger than a country in the world. In fact, this Tiangong is itself a perfect weapon that does not lose to the Emperor's Mirror. It only consumes too much power. Once you encounter something, you must have all the elders inside, and at the same time, send out strength and destroy thousands. The 10,000 magnitude law, then the Tiangong slowly slowed down and suppressed all enemies. If it is really unable to withstand it, this Tiangong can even break away and escape. The entire Tiangong is the foundation of all the teachings of Yuhuamen. As for the big city below, the mountain outside, that is the first line of defense to guard the Tiangong. The mountain peaks of the true disciples form a formation, and the Yuhua temple can give them strength. They can also be the first line of defense, guarding the disciples of the inner door, disciples of the door. The teacher brother, this time thanks to Fang Han, only to eliminate the conspiracy of the Protoss in the arrangement of the chess pieces in my feathering door. I took the initiative and killed 5 gods outside, and took a god. Please also decide. As soon as I saw the wind white feathers, the elders of the heavens did not wait for the opening of the mouth, and directly pulled out the magic gods from the sleeves and fell to the ground. What? Protoss. If the singer is stunned, if Fang Han said that there are 3 people who collude with the magic road, there is still something to say, but now that the relationship with the world's most terrifying Protoss is related, then there is no way to say it, and there are people's cards. Physical evidence. What? The Protoss actually reached into the interior of my feathering door. Feng Baiyu saw the magic god, his face was suddenly dignified, and he grasped it directly with his hand, and the invisible spirit caught the magic god. The neck lifted up, say, how many people of your Protoss came to the world of Xianhuang? How many people are there? Where are you now? You are a little god, when you know my means, I am the feather of the door, the white feathers, in your family. The Emperor must have heard of my name. Cough, cough. The magical asterisk is now a bone armor, the tentacles on the head, and it is the true face of the Protoss. After it coughs for a while, it laughs, wind white feather. How long can you not look good? My family is 80 billion troops, and soon after, we will descend to the world of Xianhuang and rule here. Then use this as a base to attack the deeper and boundless world of the universe. What? How many Protoss? 80 billion? Fang Han heard this number and almost jumped up. The Protoss army is 80 billion. The weakest soldier is also the master of the magical mystery. Is this still worth it? The dense and densely covered 10 gates of the fairy road, the 7 veins of the magic road are almost instantaneously destroyed. You know, among the 8 billion people, how many gods are there? God Emperor? Even more powerful masters? Ha ha. How much do you come, how much do I kill? How many years have not had a painful battle? Feng Baiyu laughed and said, I know, we are in the world of black and white, every 10,000 years, there is a robbery, big the robbery is just a good opportunity for me to wait for the monks to temper. Say, where is your Protoss now in the Xianhuang big world? Is it overseas? Ha ha, ask me to say, it is a dream. You are dreaming. The magical smirked and said, today, you are doing this to me. At that time, the power of my family will be like this for you, and the karma will be uncomfortable. It doesn't matter if you don't say it. I know countless secrets. You can squeeze out any of your thoughts. Although your Protoss is strong, there is no disintegration of the devil. Feng Baiyu sneered slightly and no longer asked, and a tight, he. The illusion of the gods has exploded into countless regiments, and many of them have fled around, but all have been caught in the hands of Feng Baiyu. There is a group of white crystals, which is the storage space inside the body of Magic God, which was directly thrown to Fang Han. A of the things, the wind white feathers are not seen in the eyes. It's a pity that this is handed over to me, and it can be changed into a god fruit, but now it is scattered. Fang Han's heart is secretly pity, in the face of Rui, he will not take the power of God, only let it scatters. Sure enough, there is also the Emperor. I left an important piece in my feathering door. Feng Baiyu constantly felt the memory of the magical god, suddenly surprised, it seems to be, seeing, what after a long time, I broke this group of thoughts. Fang Han, this time you have done a good job, very good. Let me know a lot of things. If you don't take the gods in time, we will face a real door in the future. The catastrophe. And now, is the opportunity for the emergence of my feathering door. I will go to discuss with some elders and see what rewards you will give. As the child listened to this, his face turned slightly green, but the wind white feathers spoke, he naturally could not refute. And, Fang Han, you continue to win the nebula baby, do your best to help him, our feathering door and the group of stars will temporarily form an alliance. I have a book here I sent you to the group of stars to teach. Say yes after discussing it for 3 years, the fairy tales of the 10th group of fairs. You can also take the opportunity to go to the Stargate to see. Between the words, on the wind white feathers, a letter of writing appeared, falling into the hands of Fang Han. Originally, Feng Baiyu had to send a book to the gates of the stars, and he could fly the letters directly. Now let Fang Han send an excuse to let him go to the Stargates to see a chance. Teach the Supreme, when will I go? Go now? Of course not. You will start again after the spring. Otherwise 3 months later, the elders of the 3 major swordsmen came and asked me what should I do for Yuan Yingdan. Do you refine them to 3 million? Dao, you also took this time and practiced it. This time I sent you to the Stargate. By the way, you will see the outstanding true disciples of the Stargate. It is rumored that there have been many talents in these years. You and them, let's talk about it. Don't throw me the face of the feather door. This is a teacher's peace of mind. Fang Han turned and he will quit. Slow. Rui suddenly said, you have got into the spirit of the 5 elements of the land, for this to kill Tai 2 big Jindan small giants, 2 1 door to this to my feathers door to ask the sin, of a feather door for you are not good at it. Don't you give the martial art of the 5 elements of the land to the sect? What? Hearing here, Fang Hani, the entrance and exit of the 5 elements is very important, and the key moments can save lives. Because if you encounter a powerful character, you can travel through time and space to reach the 5 elements. Avoid the enemy's pursuit. Forget it. We will use it again after the charm. Now it is worth staying on Fang Han. Moreover, this is the ancient demon to give to Fang Han. Naturally, he has deep meaning. If we rush to take it, it will be demon. Guess, and he can understand our virtual reality through the charm, maybe plant the magic tire. At that time, the wind white feather swings. Grow the magical tires. If the face changes, the final face does not speak, and he hands over, hey teacher brother, since the Protoss began to calculate my feather door, we have to arrange a countermeasure. Not busy, this big robbery, there are still decades. There is enough time for us to prepare, and during this period, we have to do a big thing. That is to win the Tai Yuan Xianfu. Only if you get Tai Yuan Xianfu, you can use the inside of Xuanzang to reverse the time, let our disciples of Yu Huamen practice in it, and develop rapidly before the robbery. Wind White Feathers proudly said. What, won the Tai Yuan Xianfu? The teacher brother, this is not a joke. The elders of the sentence heard the plan and stunned the whole body. No matter, we won the Tai Yuan Xianfu, we have an advantage. At the very least, Fang Han is in the Tai Yuan Xianfu. There are some adventures. When it is time, you can be outside. Feng Baiyu said, so Fang Han, you have to remember this thing. Your cultivation must be at least cultivated to Jindan, and even the wind and fire, the heavens and the earth, and the restoration of Huangquantu will be able to re-enter Tai Yuan Xianfu. At that time, I will take the emperor. Mirror borrows you. In the Tai Yuan Xianfu, there are countless magic weapons, the fairy does not say, the Taoist, the spirit, the endless. After getting it, we can only get through this robbery. Without it, everything it is illusory. There is such a big layout in the teaching of the Supreme. I naturally obey. Fang Hani, but I will get the treasure of Huangquan sooner or later. At that time, it is not difficult for us to become the world of the male and female. As long as you help me to get the door to Tai Yuan Xianfu, I will pass on the big position to you. Of course, the premise is that you must cultivate to the longevity and overcome the heavens. If the heavens overcome you, you will take all the rest. Mention. This is natural. Fang Han retired and heard the sound of Feng Baiyu in his ear. If the elders of the 3 major swordsmen come to you, you have to tell them one thing, that is, 2 ones, Tai Huangqian, shot to kill you, but it was stopped by the ancient demon of the 5 elements. Fang Han came out from the Yuhua temple, and did not return to the reincarnation peak to practice. Instead, he swayed into the Shanhaiyuan and watched the results of the Mountain River List contest. He returned to the Shanhaiguan and suddenly caused a sensation. Fang Han is actually back. How can he have nothing so big and big? Even the giants of the ages, the elders like the elders, can't help him. It seems that the Supreme Master is looking at him differently. The top 10 of this mountain river list competition is only really being taken over by the people in his hands. Seeing his fierce look, if we go to ******* it, I am afraid that it will be abolished by him. Unfortunately, Yin and Yang Wanshou Dan, the panacea that can increase the lifespan of 600 years, even Jindan small giant masters are dreaming. Damn! This is really too overbearing. There is no way. People under the roof have to bow their heads. We are still calm, and it will certainly be beneficial. Some outside disciples have been talking about it, which is not lacking the royal family of many countries, the secular some of the secret big family, the great masters of the big chamber of commerce. What should I do this time? We got the brothers of Qianju, Wanluo brothers, and the brothers of the spirits to cultivate. The Qianju brothers even put our group of people into the Daotang furnace to quench the bones and give us back. After taking countless spirits, we finally got a few qualifications to understand the magical power. Before Qiandi's brothers left, give me one person to symbolize and hide the breath. Let us play pigs and eat tigers. Wan Luo's brother, the spirited brothers also. Hey, we must win a yin and yang shouting to him, and now if we take it, I am afraid that it will be abolished by Fang Han. In a dark corner, there were 3 or 4 inconspicuous disciples. When I saw Fang Han coming back, after a big surprise, my face became extremely ugly. These 3 or 4 people are in good relations with Hua Qianju, Wanluo, Lingbai, and even cultivated by them. Fang Han suppresses dissidents and removes obstacles. The means are horrendous. If we take the shot, he will really abolish us like the abolition of Fang Man, Fang Rui, and Fang Lai. A young man wearing cyan clothes whispers. Hate, I originally wanted to unblock the seal. I used the polo knife that my ***** brother gave me and swept the spot. It is no problem to win a yin and yang Shaodan. It seems that it is definitely not working. Dai Yuguan's inner disciple. What should I do? Brother Wan Luo is still waiting for us to send him after winning the yin and yang Wanshou Dan. The current situation, Fang Han looked at us, how to capture. Wan Luo brothers did not come out. If the Qianju brothers come back from Tai this time, you can also suppress Fang Han. Otherwise, we will only come out with a dead end. These few people are talking in the dark corners. Fang Han has long been in his eyes. Hey, when I don't know, in this year, Hua Qian has selected more than 100 people among the inner disciples to give them strengths. I can't think of the Dan furnace with the Daoist level, and only 4 mysterious secrets come out. Where are my gods through the wonderful fruit? You 4 people, there is a magical seal on the body, ready to play pigs and eat tigers. I am sitting here, see how you guys pack. He sneered in his heart. This time back to the mountain river list competition, his means can be described as overwhelming, first of all directly discarding the disciples of the 3 magical secrets, and then even the elders' Jin really must be taken together, and finally alarmed the elders, there is nothing. What's even more amazing is that one of the giants of the ancients has stopped to do so, but it has made Fang Han directly promote the masters of the 3 magical secrets. At the end of the day, this matter was so troublesome to see the head, everyone thought that this Fang Han must be difficult to reconcile, but did not think that he swayed out. A look of carelessness. In this way, many elders, true disciples, inner disciples, and foreign disciples were shocked. There is nothing wrong with this kind of trouble. How strong is Fang Han's power? Even if Hua Qianju is such a big mountain river list competition, I am afraid I will be locked into Xianqiao. Hey! Fang coldly glanced at the audience, and suddenly hundreds of thousands of disciples were quiet, and the atmosphere did not dare to come out, for fear that he would not be pleasing to the eye, and went straight up and was abolished. The disciples who have a good relationship with Fang Han, especially the female disciples of the Indigo Society, are all elated and arrogant. What is majesty? This is called majesty, called the power. Seeing the reaction of many disciples present, Fang Hanshin was extremely refreshed. When Fang Han first entered the Shanhaiyuan, he used his gaze to shoot. In fact, he discovered that several disciples were hidden and actually cultivated into the mysterious secrets. And they also have the faint ambition of the strong jewels, apparently coming from the mountain river list reward. Originally, according to the normal situation, even hundreds of thousands of disciples, a large base, even if these disciples are the top characters in the secular, and some even the martial arts masters who are famous for their youth. However, it is extremely difficult to cultivate into the mysterious secrets. There is no one in the middle of the world. Therefore, the number of disciples of the Shentong secrets promoted each year is definitely not much, 1 or 2 are normal. But this year is different. Because this year, the martial arts sent a large number of medicinal rewards, and Fang Han also distributed a large number of Yuan Yingdan. In addition, in order to fight against Fang Han, and at any cost, Hu Qian has cultivated a group of disciples, and what kind of elixir such as Kaizi Shendan has been greatly rewarded. These 3 reasons have catalyzed the leader among the disciples of the feathers. Of course, the generous prizes in the Shanhabang contest have inspired some disciples to practice hard, which is also an important reason. Nourish. A purple electric knife was cut down, and a disciple's flying sword was cut open and fell to the head of this inner disciple. Hongi Shijie, I admit defeat. I can't think of the teacher's sister actually practiced the instinct of the purple electric knife. This inner disciple quickly admit defeat. The red Ijuan master received a knife, standing on the spot, has already won. Undoubtedly, in addition to Fang Han's control, this mountain river list contest has manipulated everything outside the court and showed the posture of power. Among the disciples in the field, the most popular is the Hongi County Lord. After she cultivated into the mysterious mystery, under the installation of Fang Qingxue, she practiced the purple electric scalpel, which was directly upgraded to the supernatural atmosphere of Shentong. In fact, to the mysterious secret, for the first 3, as long as there are enough resources, it is still very easy to cultivate and improve. Fang Han got the Jianmu God Needle in the same year, and the hard-working supernatural power of Qing Emperor Mu Huanggong became a true spirit after 3 months of cultivation. The purple electric yin knife is much easier to cultivate than the Qing Emperor. As long as there is sufficient power of thunder, there is also an ore called Zijinyuan magnetic, which can be practiced. Zijinyuan magnetic ore, the power of natural and thunder, has excellent communication. The practitioners take the breath of it, seduce the thunder in the sky, condense into a lightning knife, kill the body, and temper the body. All have excellent functions, very overbearing. It is also very fierce. However, when you are in the thunder of the world, you must be very careful. Otherwise, if you fail, you will be killed by the thunder. Therefore, there are very few among the practitioners. However, Fang Qingxue has an indefinite electrical symbol, which can be used to manipulate the thunder to a subtle level, which is convenient for cultivation. He Shijie, I also admit defeat. In a ring, the crane fairy grasped the past, and the mana formed the shadow of the crane. The disciple was directly caught in the air. The disciple's flying sword had no effect and quickly conceded. Hexianzi has now become a human being. Although he has not cultivated into a true spirit, his mana is extremely powerful. It is almost the same as the Blackwater King snake that Fang Han encountered in the past. It's extremely difficult for a demon to change an adult, but once it changes, the benefits are very high. Mana is much stronger than people. The foundation of the crane fairy is also playing firmly. In the hands of Fang Han, I don't know how many panacea medicines I have eaten. When I was at the bottom of the earth, I had eaten the * den of the white hair flying, and there were some demon emperors in the body. Hey! One after another, the disciples were defeated by their own hands. The crane fairy was like a child, and he was happy. A mountain and river list contest has been going on for 36 hours, and there is no problem in the middle. Under the repression of Fang Han, who no one has ever made trouble, even the 4 Hu Qian, the cultivated disciples are also honest, without unwrapping the seals of their bodies, showing their strengths in the mysterious secrets, but carefully outside the more than a dozen. Because Fang Han's gaze was placed on them, he always sneered, making them nervous and wishing to withdraw from the game. Everything is settled. In this mountain river list competition, Hongi County won the first place, the crane fairy second, and the virtual moon third, the night rain fourth, and a fifth called Yang Xiaoyu. It was also the day that Fang Han knew on the battlefield of the demon. This time, he was promoted to the mysterious secret of the gods through the God Pass, and of course swept the spot. The 5 people took the top 5, and each one got a precious yin and yang Wanshou Dan that Jindan masters wanted. At the same time, the top 5 treasures are also included in the bag. The next 5 are the disciples of the Indigo Club, Nanbeibei, Ivy, Zixian, Yang Xiaoxing, Lin Fengxi, and the top 10 of the Shanhe list are all taken by Fang Han. The top 10 of the Shanhe list is the most rewarding, with the most treasures. Even the top 10, each has a magic weapon made of void crystal. After the end of the contest, Fang Han stood up and nodded with satisfaction and returned to the reincarnation peak. In a short while, several indigo women also went to the reincarnation peak. The 3 leading women were the 3 women, Yu Yue, Night Rain, and Yang Xiaoyu, which got the great benefits of Fang Han. Immediately came up to thank, and the 3 took out the yin and yang Wanshou Dan that they got. Fang Han brother, this yin and yang longevity Dan, you are also missing. We have your ****** Dan, repaired into a magical power, has been satisfied. So these 3 remedies, come to the brothers. The virtual moon is the first. I saw Ye, Night Rain, and Yang Xiaoyu offered the yin and yang Wanshou Dan that they got. Fang Han smiled a little, did not refuse, and recruited 3 magical medicines fell on him. Hands. Yin and Yang Wanshou Dan is the heavenly spirit of Guban Pei Yuan. It strengthens the body and increases the life. Even if the masters of Huatiandu have the Dao Dan furnace, they will not be able to refine. Because the master who must have a long-lived secret can refine, and it takes a lot of time and effort. Jiui Jin Dan, Thunderbolt, and this Dan. Although Fang Han got one last year, he gave it to Long. At that time, he was shallow and had to bear the pain of cutting love. Now that he is a strong man, he will naturally accept it. This Dan is very useful to him because he has not taken it. The medicinal herbs are divided into 5 levels: people, spirit, land, day, and sin. Among them, the human class of medicinal herbs is equal to the grain of supplemental vitality, which is indispensable. The other 4 grades of remedy, the effect is very good, or to enhance the mana, or to increase the life, or to expand the sea, but generally this type of remedy can only take 1 time, then take the second time the effect will be greatly weakened and meaningless. For example, French Saint Riley, after taking it, people have the mana of tens of thousands of horses, and Fang Han now has 2 sources of Jin Dan masters, the thief and the thief, and can refine 2 French the relics come, but they can't take them because the effect is very small. However, Fang Han did not take the yin and yang Wanshou Dan, and now take it, there is a strong effect, improve the physical quality, increase the life expectancy of 600 years, and more able to use the White Emperor Golden Emperor to move instantly, not afraid of physical collapse. Since he fought with Meng Xiaobai, he used the momentary movement to offset the advantage of the opponent's speed. He knew that the stronger the body, the better. Others use the moment to kill ****, and the momentary movement is Fei Jian. Even so, after a few quick kills, the sword-level flying sword still collapses. And he moves instantly. Is the flesh, it is horrible. It is necessary to make the body more than 100 times stronger than the flying sword. After taking over 3 yin and yang Wanshou Dan, Fang Han rushed and dropped one of them into his mouth. He suddenly felt the 2 black and white airflows rising in the stomach, hovering around the body, nourishing all flesh, bones and even bone marrow. With the experience of refining and refining, Lei Bone Relic, Fang Han is naturally a light-skilled road. He integrates this medicine into the blood, spreads it all over the body, and finally combines with the bone marrow to strengthen the bones. Mill. He gave out a sound like a grinding, and the color of his body continued to change. It was golden for a while, purple for a while, black and white for a while, and sometimes thunder and whistles. Such a strange scene saw the female disciples present at the scene stunned, not knowing what kind of wonder he was practicing. After a while, the wonders of Fang Han's body stayed, showing a dull skin. But everyone feels that there is a terrible power in his body, as if he can master the life and death of others at all times. Especially his palms are wide and thick, and the roots of the fingers reveal the general atmosphere of the mountains. It's like every finger is a big mountain. Whirring. Several female disciples seem to have a bit of oppression and breathlessness. Fang Han, your body is strong again, although it is impossible to practice the body of immortality, but this time the performance of the White Emperor Golden Emperor can drive the maximum speed. I calculated it, estimated to be 300 times the sound. 3,000 years ago, the feathered door was taught to be an undead body, and it was 3,000 times more than a sneak peek. You are now one of his tenths. It is amazing. I suddenly got up. I am far from the body of immortality. The body of immortality is the second most important thing in the longevity. It is rumored that the head has been cut off before it can grow up. People can be beaten into Bolognese and can be combined. Even it has been refined into fly ash, and as long as there is a dust left, it can be agglomerated. If I am cut off my head, I will die. Fang Hanshi smiled and exchanged spirits, but now my body can move instantly, killing at 300 times, not only killing, but also having some means of escaping. Yin Yang Wanshou Dan is amazing, now increase after 600 years of life. My life expectancy is more than 3,000 years. After condensing into Jindan, life expectancy will skyrocket, and the life of 5,000 or 6,000 years will be enough for me to cultivate into the longevity secret. When you cultivate to the supernatural powers and change your life, you can clearly see the life of your own life. 1 day's passed, 1 year's passing. Xiao Xiao said, that taste is tightness will make people desperate to practice. Generally, they will cultivate a master of the supernatural powers, and they will completely retreat. What battles become meaningless? Oh. Fang Han condensed the breath and completely melted the medicinal power of Yin and Yang Wanshou Dan. This is how many female disciples said, you have all cultivated into the mysterious secrets, and you will become a true disciple when you visit the elders. It will also build a mountain for you, and be alone. But there have been some changes between heaven and earth recently, and the catastrophe is coming. You are still careful. I will give you some magic weapons to protect the mountains. Between the talks, he took out 3 sets of magic weapons from his sleeves. Nothing wrong, it is a magic weapon. One set is a 64 white little dragonfly called White Clouds. Each pole is a middle-quality treasure. Take a single shot and go out. The white clouds are wrapped around, and you can withstand the strong flying sword. Assassination, poisonous smoke, and even lightning bombing. If the set is very protective, once it is arranged, the entire mountain will be blocked by the white clouds, and the outside people will not enter. There are also 2 sets, but it is a sword array, a set of 24 flying swords of the Fish Dragon Sword Array. The map is a picture of fish and dragons. There is also a set of the Eternal Sword Array, and the Eternal Map that Fang Han once wanted to refine. It is the magic sword array of some true disciples who guard the mountain peaks. These things are taken from the remains of the 6 gods. Fang Han is very poor now. There is no treasure that can be rewarded to his disciples. As for the Yang Yu Jianzhen, these things are all great treasures of the treasures, reluctant to give people, and they are also very useful. Besides, sending out the masters below the heavens and humans cannot be destroyed. When I saw Fang Han, I took out 3 sets of big arrays. Several female disciples were shocked and couldn't speak, thinking that Fang Han got what Xian Ren Dong Fu. You know, there are hundreds of treasures in these 3 sets. A single treasure is nothing, but the power of the set is different. A fish dragon sword, but it is a treasure in the middle of the product. The lethality is not great, the power is only a few dozens of horses, but the 24, plus a picture, it is not a multiple increase, but 100 times increase in lethality. With these big guardian peaks and spend a little time to consolidate the ground, it is a solid soup, master of the mysterious secrets, not afraid of the 5 heavens masters to attack. The old nest is sturdy, the sense of security is greatly increased, and the cultivation is also more effective. When you set up a mountain, plant a medicine field, I will go to the next Qingdi rain to add aura to your mountain. Fang Han said again. Thank you, brother. Several female disciples are very happy. Next, the days are laid back. Hexianzi, the owner of Hongi County, has now become a true disciple, and the elders of Tiangong immediately dispatched the Devil of God to build a mountain for them. The Hongi County Lord received the first prize of the big guns and kings, and the power of the 3 sets of big squads that were given by Fang Han was all-powerful. And Hexianzi also got a lot of treasures, but Fang Han still gave her a large array called The Snake Swallows the Sun, which is a large array of 100 flying swords which can be turned into a snake. The power is not under the big guns. Of course, these treasures are left by several gods. These gods, there are more than one baby, obviously they are going to take the monks who are going to draw the various factions and by the traitors. Fang Han got the legacy of the 6 great gods, no less than a small treasure house. At the same time, this reward goes on. Fang Han also knows why the major sects are so lacking in the magic weapon, and understand why the Feather Gate does not forget the Taiyuan Shenfu. Every disciple who is promoted to a mysterious secret is rewarded like this. It is too much to bear. But there are no magic weapons to defend themselves, and the disciples of the mysterious secrets are also easily killed. After giving the magic weapon, Fang Han went to the peaks of these disciples and landed at Qingdi Rain, which produced a large number of elixir elves. Now, although it is winter, the snow is closed, but the mountain has a large blockade, and at the same time Emperor Mugong's birth of vegetation can fundamentally reverse the changes in the 4 seasons. Hongi County Lord, Crane Fairy, Moonlight, Night Rain, Yang Xiaoyu. These 5 people were promoted to true disciples. At the same time as the mountain peaks, there were 4 other people who became true disciples. It is the 4 cultured by Hua Qianju. In the Shanhe list competition, they dare not unpack the seals. The head turtle, but after the Shanhe list contest, it showed strength and silently became a true disciple. This year, Yu Huamen promoted 9 mysterious secrets, which is a great harvest. Except for one door, no martial art has this speed. Of course, there were still 3 people in the party, but they were all killed by Fang Han. Otherwise, there are 12 feathering gates, which are more powerful and powerful. After the 5 people of Hongi County, Hexianzi, Shuyuya, Night Rain, and Yang Xiaoyu settled down, Fang Han will be truly idle, meditating every day and enlightening Shentong. At the same time, condense the medicinal herbs and discuss with the Nebula Baby the magical power of the stars. At the same time, he also took out a yin and yang wanshou dan and a Shentong fruit to eat for the Nebula Baby, but the strange thing is that the Nebula Baby is a lot stronger, but it is too late to break through the world. Wherein I am sorry commonly. You must know that the magical fruit contains the power of God that has been washed by the tree of the world. Fang Han is in the Taiyuan Immortal Palace. It is because of the 5, heaven and man, that the power of God has broken through. Why can't the Nebula Baby be able to? At this time, Fang Han knew that the medicinal herbs were not omnipotent and it was up to them to break through. This video will end here. Like video and subscribe to my channel.